Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you another video. All right, so I'm getting this video out early. Lakers play the OKC Thunder. Yeah, OKC Thunder at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. And man, the Thunder have been winning a lot of games. Now they did lose their second to last game against the San Antonio Spurs, where Wemby went for 1,000,000 blocks and a double-double, and just really took his matchup against Chet Holmgren rather personally. And other than that, they ain't been losing much of anything. Their last game they played against the Phoenix Suns, won by 8 points, only turned the ball over 6 times. So we got to be careful with this team. They're not shooting particularly well from behind the arc in that one. In that particular game, they shot 29%, which is a little under average. But all in all, this is a team you got to take seriously from behind the arc just the same. They got some role players coming in, some new guys. Gordon Hayward has just been freshly added to this basketball team. He hasn't really done anything since being signed, if anything, or traded for, I should say. If anything, I just think they brought him in to keep him off of teams like us in a buyout market, which I think is kind of silly given the fact how much they're paying for him and how much ultimately they want him to do. But that's their business. They also got a guy that we wanted at the center position. Bismack Biyombo is on this team now, so they brought in some reinforcements, and I don't expect a whole lot from them dudes on this particular roster, but I don't think it matters because they got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, arguably your MVP this season, averaging over 34 points a game. Fantastic assist player, can play defense as well, just an all-around artist. Definitely a guy that's entering his prime and has turned himself into one of the elite guards in this league. So if you don't find yourself ready to deal with him, he will deal with you. It's that simple. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Also, they got a guy who plays very well against us, who's kind of in a bit of a slump. I think his minutes have been cut in half, given the fact they have a lot of guards to play. But Josh Giddey is somebody we need to take very seriously. He tends to rebound the ball very well against us, tends to have better games against us than usually anybody else. Since he's in somewhat of a slump, a date with the Lakers is exactly what I expect he wants. Now, a guy by the name of J-Dub is on this team as well, Jalen Williams. He is fantastic as well. I call him Baby Magic Johnson. Doesn't really have a whole lot of holes in his game. Dealt with a little bit of an injury about a month ago, but has since worked his way back into form and is now pretty much ready to be his normal self. So if you're not ready for him, he's going to get out in the open court, make plays for other people, make plays for himself, hit threes, play D. He does everything. Definitely a dangerous player at that small forward position. Now, we don't have to worry about the other Jalen Williams. J-Will will be out for this one. I'm not really sure what his ailment is, but he will not be available according to the injury report. But it's early in the morning right now. It is like 5:30 in the morning, so a lot can change between now and the game time. You're also dealing with, of course, as I said, Chet Holmgren. Could be your rookie of the year, but I do think that'll go to Wemby. Nevertheless, Chet Holmgren is one of the elite defensive players in this league right now, blocking all kinds of shots with his length. He's about 7'2", 7'3", and can play like a guard just like Wemby. He's going to shoot threes. He's going to do all types of deck moves and dribbling. He has a somewhat of a post game. I don't know that his post game is where it's going to be, but he has the fundamentals necessary to get shots off from anywhere. And you got to take him extremely seriously. He's basically going to be a superstar in this league, and with the length that he has, he's just extremely disruptive, man, as we all know. So if we're not ready for Big Chet will be ready for you. It's that simple. This is OKC Thunder, man. They've run 42 games this season. They're at the top of the Western Conference. I think if they're not right behind Minnesota, they're ahead of them. They keep flipping back and forth, but this is the cream of the crop. Now, we have won the last 2 matchups against them and lead the season series 2-1. But I don't think that has a whole lot to do with anything if we don't come in and play right tonight. We've been struggling. We lost to the Denver Nuggets in the same form and fashion we always do. Close game, had the lead for majority of the first half. And in the fourth quarter, in the last 5 minutes, they just ran past us and executed properly. It was one of the most humiliating things to watch, only because it was the same way to lose against that specific team. But we got to dust ourselves off and try to continue to salvage our season. We have ourselves in the 10th position right now in the play-in tournament, and that is not where we want to stay. So it's going to require us to beat the OKC Thunder and everybody else ahead of us in order to move up. Now, the thing about it is, I think it's kind of interesting. As of right now, I counted 20 games left. 10 of those games are against the Eastern Conference, and most of those games are at home. So I just thought that was an interesting little tidbit for the Lakers. I think that's really strange. I don't remember that ever being the case where you still, this far into the season, have so much of the Eastern Conference yet to play. But nevertheless, when I glance at OKC Thunder's schedule, they also have something similar going on. It's a lot of Eastern Conference team that they just still have yet to complete their season series with. So it's just a weird scheduling year, to be honest with you. Very strange schedules. We still got, 2 or 3 back-to-backs left to play with 20 games left. So it's gonna be a grind to finish out this season for these LA Lakers. And we just got to win the ones we can. I think we've shown that we can have success against this particular squad. And we need to come in with confidence, man. They got plenty of talent on their bench. Isaiah Joe, fantastic shooter. Cason Wallace, two-way player at the point guard position. One of the lottery picks of this season. Fantastic player. One of my favorite young players in this game. Unfortunately, he was drafted to the OKC Thunder, where he likely won't have a starting spot anytime soon. But he's definitely a starting level player, and if ever gets opportunity, will break out. No question about it. Aaron Wiggins is also somebody you got to be very careful with on this team. Shoot the three. Nice forward. Kendrick Williams, who tends to play especially well against the Lakers. He's one of those guys, Kendrick Williams. You just have to understand that he's going to turn into Jason Williams or Jalen Williams or one of the great Williams of this world when the Lakers are the team he's going against. He ain't going to do nothing against nobody else, but against you, he going to wake up. Kendrick Williams. So it's just a lot of stuff going on like that. Luguentz Dort is somebody who you have to take very seriously on this team. Two-way guy, defensive, strong-bodied shooting guard, small forward combination. They are not lacking in forwards, man. And Gordon Hayward, you do not want Gordon Hayward to decide he wants to be old Gordon Hayward tonight off of the bench. So these are just the things that you have to think about when you're going up against this team. Ousmane Dieng, I think, has been pushed out of the rotation, which I think is a mistake. I know they brought in Gordon Hayward for a reason, but Ousmane Dieng needs to be continuing to get minutes and develop, and I just don't think I didn't see him in the last game's rotation or any of the other ones. So, that's a player that I think they could possibly play tonight just because he's not injured and because he hasn't played in a few games. And if that happens, he can still hurt you. He's a lottery pick, and he just, like many other players on this team, is on the wrong damn team. That's what it really comes down to. OKC has loaded up on lottery picks and picks, and some of these players are just not being able to be developed. They waived Poku a couple weeks ago. I think he was set to sign with the Charlotte Hornets. I don't know if it actually happened, but they just have too much talent, man, at the young players that need to develop. So that's really what it comes down to, man. With Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Giddey, Williams, Chet firmly in place in that starting lineup, it's not a whole lot of opportunity for young guys to develop into who they're going to be and ultimately see themselves thriving in a starting lineup. You're going to be a bench guy at best on this team unless you could take Luguentz Dort's role, of whom they paid several years ago. So it's just a tough situation in OKC. I would love for them to just kind of get rid of some of these young guys so they can actually spread their wings and fly in this league. But nevertheless, guys like Cason Wallace and Ousmane Dieng are just in this position to play a bench role, and that's where they're thriving. They're a very good team because they have so much depth. And so that's what it really comes down to. The OKC Thunder, obviously one of the best teams in the Western Conference, but a team that we've had some success against this season. If we play our best, I think we can impose our will. Anthony Davis, LeBron James, D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, we need those guys to all be clicking at the same time. And if we can have all that happen, maybe we can offset the 37 points that are ultimately likely coming from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the potential double-double threat of everybody else in that starting lineup. So that's really what it comes down to, man. This OKC Thunder team is not to be trifled with. They have so much talent, players on their bench that can really break out at any moment. And bench is where we have struggled. We have not had a good bench unit since moving Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura into the starting lineup. We brought in Spencer Dinwiddie. We've lost some guys, of course, to injury. And as a result, our bench has been pretty unproductive, I think is the word. Taurean Prince has been nearly unplayable lately. Dinwiddie, same thing. We've been working Cam Reddish into the fold, but he has specific strengths, and offensive scoring is not one of them. And that's a problem for our bench right now. We got Jackson Hayes. He's been playing well, but our coach hasn't necessarily been putting him in consistently. And we've all but removed Max Christie from rotation, which I thoroughly disagree with 100%. So it's just a lot of stuff going on. Skylar Mays not in rotation. Also disagree with that. I just think that, at the end of the day, coach is doing what he wants to do. And as a result, with the bench specifically, we're struggling. So that's really what it is. I don't expect a whole lot from my bench until we get some guys back. Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, although I don't know that either of them will be returning this season. Christian Wood, same thing. It's just a rough go right now with some of the players that we signed to be our bench guys. They're just out and may not return. Now, we are getting some reinforcements coming in tonight. Harry Giles will be making his Laker debut, I believe, this evening. I know he's supposed to have joined the team either today or yesterday, so hopefully that means he'll be available. Does that mean coach will use him? I have my doubts, honestly, but hopefully he'll be able to get on the floor and blow us all away. Hopefully he can play so much better than we're expecting him to, and that would really be a help to our squad. But it is what it is. It's kind of hard to work people into Darvin's system. I don't really know what that system actually is, but nevertheless, it seems to be a bit of a struggle trying to get new guys to play well or new guys to even get on the floor. So, it is what it is. Hopefully Darvin Ham can shuffle the bench up a little bit to find ways of getting the production we need, because if we lean too much on our starters for the next 20 games, I don't know if they'll have anything for the playoffs. And that's the concern that I have. Removing Max Christie, young legs, defensive wing perimeter player, is just a mistake, man. We've had perimeter defensive issues, athletic issues with your guards, and you remove probably your most athletic and best perimeter defender guard you got. I really disagree with removing Max Christie from the rotation. I think putting him back in there would be a great idea, and doing so tonight probably be a great way to do it against this forward and guard eccentric OKC team with lengthy guys at those positions who can shoot the three. So hopefully coach will remedy that for us and continue Max Christie's development within our rotation. Man, it's frustrating to even have to verbalize that, but it is what it is, man. I think he's just a more productive player than Taurean Prince or Spencer Dinwiddie at this point, and I think it would be wise for us to put him back down there. I really do, man. So, with the OKC Thunder, they've been winning a lot of games, as I said. After, it's already mentioning the San Antonio loss, you look back even further, they had 2 games against the Houston Rockets back-to-back where they took care of business. And I'd say in looking at what I was counting roughly, they have won about 8 of their last 11 games or something like that. I think that's a good way of putting it. 6 of those or 7 of those in a row. So that San Antonio loss really kind of broke their winning streak, and they picked it back up with the Phoenix Suns. So let's not allow them to continue getting in their winning ways with us. Coming into our building, we need to take care of business. I understand that they are supposed to be a better team than us, but everybody's better than us at this point. We're playing like trash. We can't let teams being quote-unquote better than us keep us from using our strengths to our advantage and closing basketball games. Because at the end of the day, if we want to make the playoffs, it's going to require us to not only beat teams better than us, but thoroughly handle them so that we can get the rest in the fourth quarter necessary to rest our players. So that's really what it is, man. Bron and AD, they have the mental edge against most of these young teams that we go up against, and we're going to need that tonight. We need Anthony Davis to bounce back from a average performance. I'd say it was pretty average against the Denver Nuggets, where we needed him to be extraordinary against Jokic, and he just did not find that within himself. We celebrated Bron going for 40K. Only player to ever score that many points. He continues to set the record each time he scores, and it's a tremendous testament to his excellence and his durability throughout the course of his 21-year career. And we're very proud of him. And we're going to need him to put some more points on the board for us tonight, and probably do it in a more focused fashion than he's been able to show us since coming back from the All-Star break. If I may be frank, we just got to be more locked in. We're going to need him, especially since we're not getting anything from our bench. So we got to make sure he gets his rest early so that he's not worn out in the last 3 minutes like he was against the Washington Wizards, and so on and so forth. We're just going to need a locked-in Bron if we have any chance of overachieving and ultimately reaching our highest potential. But, that's what it is. D'Angelo Russell's been finding his stroke. He's really been playing well, and we need that to continue, especially against the OKC Thunder team that has some defensive players that can lock him down and kind of make things more difficult than maybe some of these other teams' guards have been able to. He tends to struggle against athletic defensive guards. They have them. So this could be a down D'Lo night, but we usually struggle when D'Lo struggles. So we're going to have to find a way of opening things up for him, and hopefully he can have a hot hand tonight, because if he can give us 25, 30 points, we have a much better chance of winning basketball games. Love what I saw from Austin in the last one, even though this has been a very tough season for Austin. He struggled mightily this year, but he did have 14 assists and 19 points in the last game, and we love that. We need more of that from Austin. Aggressiveness, looking for his own shot, looking for others, and playing better defense, for which he did play against the Denver Nuggets. So hopefully his defense can improve from here. I actually like what I've seen from him playing passing lanes and things of that nature over the last 2 or 3 games. Where we need him to continue to stay strong and tighten up is turnovers. He had a couple bad turnover games last week. So that's where we're going to need him to shine, taking care of the basketball against a team that tends to take care of the basketball and don't contribute to that turnover effort. So, yeah, man, getting out in transition, trying to turn defense into offense against this team is a very good thing. You don't want to try their shot blockers because they have them. Bismack and, of course, Chet are going to be on the floor looking to block shots and create problems with their size. If we do not respect that, it could be a reject night all night. So we got to make sure we do a much better job in general with our guards, not attacking small, in a way that makes us weak, I guess. You want to attack the basket strong is what I'm trying to say. You got to dunk the ball. Don't just lay the ball up over guys like that. They'll send it the other way. So, yeah, man, points in the paint is what works against this team. Chet Holmgren's a tall guy, but he's not a strong guy. Now, bringing in Bismack can make some things a little iffy in that way, but as long as Bizzy's not on the floor, I do believe that we should be able to bully a little bit with guys like Rui Hachimura and Anthony Davis, LeBron James, using our girth to kind of push this team around. It tends to be a bit smaller than you would want your contenders to be. That's where we've been able to have success. They're fast on the perimeter. They can shoot the three some, but at the end of the day, they just don't have the big body to really push us around, which is why they signed a guy like Bismack to come in and be that for them. So we're going to see how that translates. I don't know how much playing time he's been getting, but ultimately I do expect for him to try to make the difference there. This is a talented team, man, and I think their bench is full of young players that ultimately can go crazy if you allow them an opportunity to. Isaiah Joe, Wiggins, Kendrick Williams, Kason Wallace, Ousmane Deng, all these dudes can really go, man. They have a second unit that is very talented, and it's just not developing as fast as you would like it to because of the severe talent and star power that they have in their starting lineup. So, we got to deal with this OKC team, not just this year, but probably for the next 7 years. They got it all, man. And with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander playing with so much confidence, refining his game into being one of the best players in basketball, Them being a contender is not a fluke. And so that's what it really comes down to, man. They got, Gordon Hayward basically being a coach on the floor for them, kind of a coach in their second unit type of thing. I don't know that his playing time will increase, but you can best believe against the Los Angeles Lakers, he's probably going to play his best game in OKC Thunder uniform. It's just what to expect from Gordon Hayward, one of the better players in this league, who's kind of hitting father time. Injuries have kind of worn him down, but we know he can string together a bunch of three-point shots even if he's not moving around very fast. So we had better not leave him from behind the perimeter, especially in crunch time if he's on the floor. Trust me, that could be the bane of what happens to you tonight. Thinking that he's not going to do much because he hasn't been doing much is a mistake, a big one. So we need to be careful with guys like him, Kendrick Williams, Isaiah Joe, as already mentioned. Do not leave them from behind the arc, man. They will hit shots. So that's really what it comes down to. This is a very talented basketball team, and we are a very limited basketball team with missing so many players. It's not even funny how many players we're missing right now. And so our injury report is the same. Nothing's changed. Cam Reddish is a game-time decision, although I do expect for him to play. Bron AD, game-time decision. I expect him to play. But Castleton, of course, Wood, Vincent, Vando, all still out and will be out for a while. So still shorthanded. Just got to use what we have, and hopefully Coach does a much better job of utilizing what can produce. For me, it's Skylar Mays and as already mentioned, Max Christie. You just got to incorporate those guys into the bench and scale back on some of them ones who can't do nothing for you. Spencer Dinwiddie, it's not working, man. It's just not working. And Taurean Prince is hit or miss, and over the last several games he's been missed, man. So we just got to be honest about the limitations of some of these dudes and lean into the success of the possibility of success, rather, of some of the guys who've shown us more in smaller minutes. I really do think Skylar Mays is a big-time contributor, and I think we're playing him as if he can't play at all, and I think it's a very huge mistake given what we've seen in limited minutes. I'm almost positive that we're leaving significant production to rot on our bench by not using this guy. I'm nearly 99% positive. If you play him a good 15 minutes, he's going to be much better than Spencer Dinwiddie was with those minutes. He's just been better. And so to eliminate him from rotation because he's a two-way guy is a severe dereliction, if I may say, of acknowledging what you've seen. And so I just want us to play Skylar Mays. I know damn well he can play. I know damn well he can help us on the offensive end particularly. I know it. I just know it, man. And when he goes somewhere else and shows what he can do, I'm going to have you reference this video right here, because I'm telling y'all, he can play. He needs to be on the floor. So these are the type of things I'm lobbying for. I hope our team can get it together. We're having a hard time getting production on our bench, but we also have guys on our bench that we have not used. And so that's really what it comes down to. Get Max Christie back into rotation, man. Stop this stupidity when it comes to him specifically. Stop this. Everybody in Laker Nation knows damn well what Max Christie can and cannot do at this point. Nobody's saying he's the best player in the league or nothing like that. But if you put him on the floor in the regular minutes you're supposed to give him, a good 15 minutes a night off of your bench, he's going to produce a lot more than this nonsense that Darvin Ham's been putting out there. And we're just going to leave it out there like that, rip the Band-Aid off, play Max Christie, or continue to struggle on your bench. It's as simple as that. So that's really where I'm at, man. Salute the Kobe Minute that's coming up right now. We definitely want to mention that the Lakers are going to be wearing their yellow at home, which is rare. We like that. We miss that. That's what it was growing up. We always want to see the Lakers wearing yellow at home. And the OKC Thunder will be wearing their home rights on the road, which is bizarre, but that's what your NBA modern times are for you. Bizarre when it comes to these uniforms. So that's what you're going to be seeing tonight at 7:30 at Crypto.com Arena. And I think I kind of summed up everything I wanted to say, man. It's just dire times for the Lakers. We must win basketball games. We got the Sacramento Kings coming up. 2 out of the next, 3-4 games we'll be seeing them. We got 2 more against the Bucks coming up. We got 2 more against the Pacers coming up. You know, we're going to see some of the same teams over and over again, man. So we need to tighten up, take care of teams that we've already beat, like the OKC Thunder, who are listed ahead of us, but ultimately we've beaten already twice. And winning that season series can go a long way for our mental. Obviously, we won't have home court advantage if we see them. That's already established. But at least we can say we've beaten them 3 times this season if we do so tonight. So, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, be ready for him, man. It's that simple. Be ready for Shai. Shai's coming. BDL 44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.